What's up, my brother? Are you a Christian businessman, executive, or aspiring entrepreneur? Maybe you've been crushing it in business, but something doesn't feel right. You stuck with something empty in your soul, or you want to get started. You're doing some work, but it's not in alignment with who God is calling you to be. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you my coaching methodology and how I help Christian businessmen take their business and their life to the next level without the overwhelm, the anxiety, but using biblical principles, modern psychology, and proven methodology to help men take their life and business to the next level. So if that's for you, stick in there and we'll explain a little bit about what that looks like to you. So if you don't know me, you're new to my world. My name is Calvin Gohard Richard, and I am a life and business coach, a transformation coach for men. Because men have a different requirement than ladies do when it comes down to building business and building community, but also doing it from the inside out. So I just want to share with you guys some of this information. At the end of this video, I'm actually going to have a call to action to invite you to possibly join me in coaching. If it's a right fit, you think it's a right fit, let's explore what that looks like. So I'll let you know about that at the end. Once again, this might just be for you to grab some great information and move from there. And that's it. So let me get into it here. Slideshow here. So let's see if some of this resonates with you and where you are in your life right now, because there is another level and you may be stuck at mediocre and when God is calling you to mastery. So what if the success you built is the very thing that's keeping you stuck? You're a Christian businessman, you're driven, you're a provider, you're a leader, but lately something feels off. You've got the business, you've got the family, but inside you're tired, frustrating, and unfulfilled. You feel like you're carrying the weight of the world, and no one truly sees and understands how heavy it's gotten in your life. Not your wife, not your kids, not your team, not your pastor, and sometimes even your best friend doesn't even know. I love this quote here by Henry David Thoreau. Most men lead lives of quiet desperation and go to the grave with the song still in them. Makes me think about Les Brown. Les Brown says that the wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard because there are unrealized dreams and inventions and books and businesses that go there because they were not realized by the man who was God had called to do it. So there's gifts and talents and things within you that are you have a responsibility. It's your duty to bring them forth to the world because there are men and women and folks out there that are crying private tears for the solution you have not created yet, for the move you haven't done yet because you allow fear or just not having the right information, not having the right mentorship and coaching and leadership to move you in the right direction. So I don't want that to be you. Let's not walk in this desperation. Let's be fulfilling in all the things that God has called us to do. So you're leading everyone else, but deep down, you don't feel like you're leading yourself. Self-leadership is the key. Transformational leadership is the key. You tried pushing harder. You've read the books, listened to the podcast, attended the men's retreats, but the pressure, the overwhelm, and the emptiness keeps coming back. Here's the truth that most men don't want to admit. Success without alignment is silent suffering. You're winning on paper, but losing touch with the man God called you to be. Winning, you got to have the fulfillment with it, the sustainability, the joy that comes along with it makes a difference. But if you're honest, you don't feel clear, you don't feel strong or empowered, you don't feel free, you feel stuck. But you're never meant to be stuck or stay stuck. You're made to lead, to build, to protect, to multiply, to live a legacy, to glorify God with every part of your life. Not just in money success, not just in spiritual acumen, not just in your physical body, but you are a whole man and every part of you demands excellence. So just a little heads up, I'm not for everybody. So just understand that that's just how it is. I speak in a daddy voice. I'm going to, cut right to the chase. And but it's done with love. I might kick you in the butt, but I'm going to hug you and I'm going to walk with you through life at the same time. So who is this for? Let's get right to it. Men who, who is this not for? Let's get there first. Who is this not for? Men who make excuses, play the victim, and don't take ownership of their life. Men who are arrogant, proud, or selfish, who already know it all, If you're more of a knower than a learner, you're already going to stay stuck right there. Look, be curious about what you don't know yet. That's one of the keys to making some changes. If you're also a man who's looking for a magic pill, hack, or shortcut instead of doing the real work necessary to get there. And also men who are okay with mediocrity and aren't called to greatness. I am looking for high achievers, ambitious men who have a high calling from God. Okay, greatness. But so who's this for? High achieving Christian businessmen ready to level up fast. We're talking about rapid transformation. Men who are tired of living in the fog. The fog is failure of grit. It comes from fear, which leads to overwhelm, which leads to guilt of not making the change and transformations necessary. So, of course, fog will muddy and cloud your vision, and we want to get clarity of vision. And so, if you want clarity, confidence, and are committed to doing the work required to get the real results, this is for you. Also, men who want success without burnout and freedom without sacrificing what matters most. So let me break it up my story real quick here. So stop share for a sec. Come back to that. Originally from New Orleans, born and raised in New Orleans. Been here in Marble Falls, Texas at the time of this video, almost 20 years, because Hurricane Katrina was nice enough to change all those plans from what we were doing in New Orleans. I was the head strength and conditioning coach at University of New Orleans, Division I athletics. So I've got 25 plus years of coaching, sports medicine, fitness coaching. I'm a pastor, I'm a minister. I'm over the men's ministry at our church, third funniest guy at our church. But that's for me. That's who I am as far as an individual itself. And I am a coach. I'm a transformologist. I've had plenty of coaches to help me get where I am today. I started a company called VerisFit Transformation Lab 16 years ago. It's a faith-based team personal training studio with open and closing prayer. It is my business. It is my ministry. And for years, we've done a lot of different, challenges and programs for men and women, and did some things for ladies only. And in 2018, I felt led to do something just for the guys. So I started a More Than Conquerors Men's Challenge. It was 6-week long challenge, and had about 24, 25 guys doing it. I think maybe 3 or 4 were online. The rest were all in person. And we did this program. And so what I loved about it was the fact that it was guys only. And I realized that men needed a sacred place to be men amongst men with no ladies around. And that's what we provided. We actually had workouts that were just for the guys only, as you can see here. Guys only workouts that we did there on, I think, Wednesday and Saturdays or something like that. So we had all the guys in here, and it was cool. But what I liked the most was what we did at the end. I called it Life Lead Fellowship. We sat around, we kicked God's word around, we kicked life around. Some guys were sharing their hearts. Some guys were shedding tears. Some guys were like, man, I've never seen men like this. Just being vulnerable, being able to share. And it actually lit me up. But here I am looking across the room and saying, who am I to teach this guy because he's older than me? And who am I to teach that guy over there because he's uber successful? He's making stupid money. Who am I? Imposter syndrome. Maybe you can relate. But in the moments, the Holy Spirit showed up and gave me everything I needed to share and lead these guys in the things that they're dealing with. It either came from me or it came from the collective. So somebody in there had the answer or was able to help expound upon and push in one of the guys to do what's necessary or helping them get through their situation or whatever it was. And I was so fulfilled. I said, I can do this for the rest of my life. This is amazing. And so at the end of the 6 weeks, I knew I was supposed to do a program and continue going on. And I did absolutely nothing. Nothing. I self-sabotaged and I did nothing at all. So that was 2018. 2019 comes around again. And guess what? I do another one. Same thing. Fulfilled, guys are being changed and transformed and loving it. And at the end of it, I did absolutely nothing again. Yeah, I did. Self-sabotage, overthinking, imposter syndrome, all the things that kept me from doing what I knew I was being led to do. And so that was 2019. Of course, 2020 comes and, all hell breaks loose with COVID. And let me back up a little bit. When I first started my business, I'm like most folks. We know how to do the thing, but I know how to coach. I didn't know how to run a business. And one of my clients, who was a very successful restaurant owner in this area, took me under his wing to show me business and show me P&Ls and show me all these different things that was necessary for me to move forward, and do well. And I would not be in business for 16 years if it wasn't for his mentorship. But back in 2016, 17, he gets a Parkinson's diagnosis. And like most men, when you get some kind of diagnosis that's untreatable and incurable, it affects your identity. So you're declining, and he's doing his absolute best, even in 2020, staying on all the workouts and things of that sort. That was what was going on. So, of course, during the pandemic, with all of us business owners trying to make things work, trying to keep the business afloat, keeping payroll going, all the things going on. And my mentor, John, a man of faith, a man of prestige, a man of plenty of money, he took his own life. No one saw it coming, because you never saw the man without a smile on his face. That was the heartbreak for me. He was in a lot of my marketing material. He's a staple in his community. He's with one of his best friends, Stuart, one of my buddies as well, in my marketing materials and things of that sort. And he had a private service, memorial service at his house, a very small service. My wife and I was there, and I was able to speak at his funeral and be a part of his legacy. And what was crazy is, not long after that, they did an article in the paper, local paper here, honoring him about leaving a legacy. And the irony behind the fact that my mentor above and I'm right below him in this article is just so fitting. So this poster is up. It's laminated inside in my studio. And John, I love you, love Blenda. This was the kick in the heart and kick in the nads to do what God is calling me to do, to create what I know was necessary for Christian men. And so from there, I did 2 Facebook posts and asking for 10 guys to be a part of my first cohort with Lionheart. 23 guys raised their hand, and 15 guys signed up for my first Lionheart cohort from 2 Facebook posts. And Lionheart Transformation Coach for Men was launched in 2020. I think that was in August, July, something like that is when we got started. So went from More Than Conquerors to Lionheart. And as you see, all men love to be the lion, the king. But there's a reason why this logo is shaped like a heart, because it's the heart side is the compassion side. It's the courageous vulnerability side. Jesus is the lion and the lamb. So the full man has the capacity to empathize, has the capacity to feel and to be emotionally mature. In a lot of situations where these men don't have that, because we're looking for all the tactics and strategies, all the stuff on the outside, but it starts from the inside. And so we have from doctors to law enforcement officers to school teachers to electricians. We have real estate agents and photographers, chefs, owners of Chick-fil-A. I mean, it was just a broad variety. Electricians, there's a broad variety of guys. Builders, there are two for home builders that are in this group, and that's where we got started with. And got started with Lionheart from there. We had trips and had certain things we did together here. And guys was traveling, doing in-person things as well. So that's how it started. And so empowering Christian businessmen to achieve the next level of business success in business, faith, family without overwhelm through a proven framework of faith-driven leadership, high-performance habits, and mission-driven brotherhood. The brotherhood is the pride of lions. The beauty of the lion is that he knows that his strength comes from the pride, not just in himself. Okay. Our coaching eliminates the burnout, uncertainty, and isolation, replaces it with clarity. I want to say curiosity, because curiosity is what actually brings us to the awareness of what the change is necessary in our lives. and isolation and replacing them with clarity, confidence, community, and sustainable growth. And it's to encourage men to discover, develop, and deploy their divine purpose, gifts, and callings in life and business. To empower high-achieving Christian businessmen to grow in their purpose, passions, and profits. But here's the truth. We don't want to, this is what we don't hear too much. The truth is, most men who are on his journey, he's tried everything. He's read 37 books, like just last week. Subscribed to 14 podcasts, bought 6 programs, and one or two of those programs haven't even opened up yet, haven't even logged into some of those programs, sat through the men's group, might have gotten therapy, gone into conferences, but you still feel stuck. Because there is an uncomfortable truth. More tactics and strategy is not the solution. Tactics won't fix what's broken inside of your identity. Your stories and your standards is about your identity. What belief systems I have and the standards, I have to raise the bar, raise my standards to be able to shift into the identity of the next level of myself. All right. The old ways of failing, waiting for God to do it all. I prayed and I just sat around. Faith without works is dead. Serving everyone but pleasing no one. Feeling guilty about success. That's just a dichotomy according to the what you were taught growing up. Success, like don't be too successful because your sister or your brother is not gonna feel good about it. You have to protect and shrink down for other people sometimes. Hiding faith from business, you can incorporate it into your business because it's what makes you unique in this era, this day and era. And then the hustling and grinding without alignment. I used to be that guy, the hustle and grind. Sleep is a cousin of death. I sleep when I die. All those different things. And of course, that brought anxiety, overwhelm, panic attacks with the overly hustle and grind culture. We don't do that no more. And now they're chasing more leads, more clients, better funnels. You're not one funnel away. I'm sorry to tell you that. It takes more. But you're looking for smarter systems. You're looking for the super secret magic bullet potion that gurus are hiding from him. There's something I'm missing. It's not all that. But those are surface level band-aids. You don't need more tactics. You need a transformation from the inside out. Until you fix the man behind the business, no tactic will work long-term. No amount of leads will silence that internal war, that struggle inside, that there's more. It's not about hustling harder. It's about becoming the man God designed you to carry the weight of your calling. All right. There's a burden of leadership. There's a burden of the calling that you have in your life, but we still have to go into it anyway. It's about making the decision to live by design instead of living by default on your terms, not theirs, not what others say you should do or should be, or what they're comfortable with you being exactly who you've been for the longest versus the man God has called you to be on the next level. So what helps is get lean and discipline, what it takes to take care of your body, to put on some lean muscle, to burn fat and get lean. Those disciplines carry over to other areas of your life. It takes those disciplines itself. Get clear in your calling. Get unapologetically bold with your faith. Because once the man transforms, the business follows. You are at the key of every relationship in your life, whether it's with business, with God, with family, friends. You are at the center of it. So you are the one that has to change. So our coaching ethos is using biblical principles about growth, world creation, kingdom impact, and real life application. Transformation leadership changes the world. You must shift your identity. I'm not going to read all these right now, but your superpowers are finding your unique gift, being a good steward of what God has given you. So on a journey of self-mastery, some people like to say it's self-actualization, very similar thing in itself, but greatness is your duty. We have four pillars that we look at. It's mission, money, muscle, and meaningful relationships. These 4 pillars, everything falls under. And if any of these are, like I said, a pillar, if any of these are off balance, it's going to rock the rest of the system. So making sure that all of these are optimized in different ways. This is the ethos itself. The key to unlock your full potential is found in my simple signature 3 moves, just 3, not 33, 3 moves. And 3 moves to mastery is to discover, develop, and deploy your gift, your purpose in life. And here's the thing, the purpose is not necessarily the whole gambit of your life. There are seasons where purpose changes. Where you are right now is where you're not. 10 years ago, you didn't think you'd be where you are now. So there's a part where your purpose, it changes, it grows as the calling in life grows or your life situations grow. What you have the capacity to do changes. What you have the wisdom and understanding changes. So to discover is to unlock your divine identity and mission. To develop is to build strength and strategy systems. When we install Lion OS, everyone needs an operating system, just like your computer does, business does. You personally and professionally, you need an operating system, and we have a whole system that to put in there and to deploy, to execute, expand, and elevate. So use your launching your personal brand. I'll talk about that just in a little bit too as well. So now you get this momentum flywheel. So when you discover that purpose for this season, you discover what that looks like, and then you start to develop it. You grow it. You transform, moving those things, and now I deploy it. I put it out into the world. I put it out into the people who need what I have, and then I just keep the flywheel going because the next season says level up the next one. So now I got to discover what's necessary, what's missing from there at this particular point in venture. So in the momentum itself, I'm talking about what that looks like is elevate levels of wealth, abundance, and joy, to master transformational leadership, create autonomy and agency holistically, like you are in the driver's seat with co-creating with God. Okay. Skill acquisition, skill in the Bible, actually, when Solomon asked for wisdom, wisdom translates to skill. So he asked for the skills to rule the land. So we need wisdom and skill acquisition for the growth itself, to have freedom, flow, and vitality, energy, and vigor, to be enthusiastic about life. All those things make a difference when it comes down to building momentum and live the life that you are proud of. So Lion OS is broken down, and once again, there's a complete system. It's one of the most powerful things that I put together to help you optimize your life. And it comes down to transformational leadership, income generation, optimize productivity, your daily systems, your weekly systems, monthly systems. All those things are in your productivity program, and as well as your narrative reformation. This is ruthless elimination of a non-serving narrative. The story, the belief systems that aren't serving you, we have to remove those and transform them in a different way. When we talk about building a personal brand, why is this necessary? Whether you're building a brand of your business or your life, it doesn't make a difference. We want to have your ethos and who you are as an individual from the inside. It speaks volumes of how people perceive you, how they're attracted to you, and repelled as well. Your personal brand is going to repel the wrong person. Like I said, I'm not for everybody. The same way those who lean into my philosophies and we jive together, we're the ones that work together. So building a personal brand, whether you're an entrepreneur, or you're doing some particular work, it doesn't make a difference. Your personal brand matters, and we help you build that too. So one of the reasons why is because greatness is often dismissed by those closest to you, meaning that your family and friends may not get it, especially if they're used to you being who you've always been. It's going to be a struggle for them to actually accept the next level of you, because your greatness is going to shine a light on what they're not doing. Okay. So you got to be in a container around other individuals, like-minded, with very similar mission-driven values that will keep pulling you forward, that pushes you towards the goal, not pushes you, actually pulls you towards your future self. So the people you're around, and they say the average of the 5 closest people you're around is the one you spend time with. Yes, makes a difference, and all those in alignment. So bunch of different folks that I've worked with, dozens of guys over the years. This is my buddy Alan. Alan is the owner of Chick-fil-A here in Marble Falls. He was in my first cohort. We also did some one-on-one coaching for over a year or so after that, and helped him through several things, some transitions during COVID of what it looked like in business, but also with his life plan, working on those particular things. But also, Alan got sick with COVID and almost died. And to be in his corner, recovering from that, praise God, with the grace of God, he obviously made it. The man is a cancer survivor. He is a warrior. He is called to help build trust in the community. That know, like, and trust factor, his thing is all about trust. So we help even with that. What does that look like in the community? Helping creating a clearer vision for those things in the community and with business, but also in his health and wellness. So really sticky things in his life we help kind of work through. My buddy Jared, been knowing him. He was years ago, first started off as a client at my studio, helped him walk through divorce, helped him walk through some spiritual darkness and lack of community coming from cult-like environment in church. I know that one well, unfortunately. But And I take all the credit for he and his beautiful wife and family because we did Tough Mudder together. And he met his wife, now wife, at the end of a Tough Mudder. And so this is here is when they were preparing for 3.5 weeks for their first child. Now they're pregnant now. I have a second one coming. But I was blessed enough to actually, because I helped them come together, I did their ceremony as far as their marriage too, their wedding ceremony. So he's an electrician, business owner, has locations here and near Dallas. So Jared been doing life with him a long time, but help him with some things, even with his leadership team for his staff as well. So a lot of different things helping him with business and personal stuff on the inside too as well. Marty is very, very different situation with him. Marty started off, he works in agriculture and a fertilizing company, but he also wanted to build this coding company. He did his whole coding boot camp, but didn't execute on putting it together. So that's what we started working on as the goal. But in the midst of building the systems and the programs for him to get that ready and building a personal brand and what does a company look like, his leadership skills started to skyrocket. And his company recognized that. He kept getting raises and promotions along the way inside of that while working on this, because leadership is going to transfer all over the place. And so Marty, his story was, I'm just a country bumpkin from Monroe, Louisiana. And of course, I am a stickler about words and like, no, you're not. You're not going to self-deprecate on my watch. So we changed the narrative of who he was, his identity. Next thing you know, Marty's called to go to headquarters, like the head office in Utah. He had never been on an airplane before. So we coached through all the things, because he said, man, if I wasn't doing this coaching, there's no way in the world I got on the plane. Like, oh, you're going to get on this plane. So they recognize his leadership. He's recognizing his gift of leadership in the company. Continue promotions, and salary bumps, all these things keep happening along the way. And we got to a point where I'm like, I'm seeing this energy shift in the inside as an entrepreneur inside of a company. Do you want to do this more, which is looks like you're doing, or do you still want to do the coding business? And he's like, man, I really want to just keep moving in this company. Great. So we created a personal brand inside the company as him being the sugar man, the guy that knows sugar in this industry more than anybody else. So not only inside the company, but also in the industry, he can be a person that can speak and create programs and systems outside of that too as well. So once again, the personal brand, even as an entrepreneur inside of a company, matters too as well. So you might be in that situation. And this guy here, Mr. Mitch, I've been coaching him since he was in 10th grade, on and off over the years. He got into different businesses and was still is a carpenter and doing the carpentry work, but he's a preacher. As you can see him with this well-dressed Lionheart shirt that he was rocking. He's in my first cohort as well. We helped launch. Mitch actually came on a season of coaching with me in my studio, but I actually helped him create his company, Sons of Strength, which is very similar to what I do, but he's working with older boys and young men in this program, helping them to do what God is calling them to do in their particular season itself too. So helping them develop a whole coaching program that we launched last year, and now it's continued to grow and flourish, and he's changing young guys' lives along the way too. So these are some of the guys, like I said, I've worked with dozens of guys along in this particular aspect itself. But like I said, I've been coaching 25 plus years. It's always going to be mindset. It's going to be body. It's going to be emotional resilience. It's going to be grit. That's all part of it too as well. So here's the thing. What happens if you don't transform? You're not just delaying success. You're gambling with your future. Every day you stay stuck, overwhelmed, or misaligned, you're paying a price. And the cost compounds silently across every area of your life. Here's a real cost. If you don't make a shift, you won't just lose time. You won't lose confidence, but you'll lose your confidence. You lose conviction, your connection, your clarity, and the man you were born to be. He misses out. You'll wake up months or years from now, still stuck, still frustrated, and still playing small. Because when a man refuses to lead himself, everything he leads starts to fall apart. All the people that you call to leave, love, and serve will be underserved. Uncle Warren says the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. So yes, investing in yourself. Here's somebody who was always talking about investing in money in stocks and all these things like that. But he says the investment in your own self, in your own personal journey is what matters most. So If you want to take your life in business to the next level, find me on Facebook or Instagram and DM me the word lion, and we can talk and see if we're a good fit. So hope this is helpful for you guys, because your greatest roar awaits on the other side. All right. Love you guys. God bless. Go hard. Peace.